Stopping my old project and starting something fresh and not really knowing where that was going to go was a little bit of a risk, I guess, in some ways, but actually not a creative risk at all. It was the best thing I could have done actually at the time. It's all about being creative again, because I didn't feel like I was before. I felt like I was making records to fit what people might have expected that I would have done, rather than just kind of getting stuck into what I really love, you know. And yeah, you know, this game, it's all about, you know, you've got to earn the money and earn a living from it as well. Sometimes, you know, yeah, you can earn well from doing this for a few years, but you might not forever, do you know what I mean? So there's a lot of people that have to kind of put all the eggs in one basket and just kind of go and smash it for a few years, you know. But I'm much more about the longevity. If I need to take a step back and try something new, then I'd rather do that. And I actually feel like I get more from that, much more than any sort of money can kind of give you, you know. So yeah, it's all about being creative first for me. None of the rest of it happens without that. You know, reason is like the center of everything for me. I don't create everything in it. Sometimes it's just a few drums, but I just love the interface. I love the way it works. I can get something going like that on there. You know, I'm not, I might do what I do and have achieved what I've achieved, but I'm not like going to do everything, one, by the book, two, the way that everyone else does it as well, or the ways that most people would expect me to do it. I just do what I do, right or wrong. So that for me is reason. I use Logic as well. Logic is really for all my hardware to come in. You can obviously integrate your hardware with Reason now, but I'm so used to how it works with Logic and I get a sound from it. Also the UAD has been really important for me the last 6-7 years or so. It's important to kind of stay in touch with what's going on, definitely, even if it's kit that I don't think that I would use. But you know, the Korg, the Minilog's pretty great. The Prophet 6, I'm hot and cold on it. When it's great, it's incredible. Other times I'm a bit sort of, it doesn't motivate me so much, but it's here and I use it as my controller keyboards, you know, so it's right in front of me all the time. I think it depends how you've learned and whatever turns you on, basically. You know, so it might not for some people, but I can guarantee you'll get a different sound. You'll get a more rounded sound out of using some hardware, even if it's just one thing. And just get to know the kit really well. Don't get something and just kind of mess around with it here and there. Like almost separate it from the rest of your studio and just sit down with it with cans sometimes and play around with it, whatever it is, whether it's drum machine or synth or whatever, because you really need to know the piece of kit inside out. And I can say there's always more to learn with analog gear, you know, anyway, which I'm thankful for. But for instance, you know, there's a JD800 there and there's a slightly different way of programming it, and the way you build sounds in it is very different to an analog piece of kit. And I love going to that and trying to find something that I wouldn't be able to get out of like Jupiter 8 or something. You know, it really brings something different to the table. So, you know, you know, get to know it well, but definitely stay, you know, with an open mind to kind of having some happy accidents as well with sounds and stuff, because all the best music comes from that. I think if you go in with an expectation in the studio, sometimes you can end up quite disappointed. I think it's nice to kind of go in a little bit cold and stuff, but actually know that you can rely on a couple of bits of kit to give your music a good sort of backbone. Yeah, I mean, I used to teach years ago. You know, I taught music technology out of college, and I like, yeah, a lot of people are a bit funny about sharing their ideas and how they work and stuff, and you know, fair enough, that's fine. But for me, I was used to sharing things and helping people develop ideas and have the confidence to try things. And you know, I missed that, and I actually get something back from, or I used to get something back from teaching that I really actually enjoyed. through sort of hearing and seeing what students are up to. So yeah, when I get the opportunity to do these things, I really enjoy it. You know, I can show you what I do and I can show you some of the tools, but ultimately inspiration, ideas, direction and a vibe has to come from, you know, the person that's on the end there, like looking at it or taking it in. You can't just, you know, copy whatever else is going on. You do have to find your own thing, and you can't quite teach that. But I think that's why I'm never worried about giving away any technical ideas, because, you know, it's you can go and buy yourself a huge toolkit and you're not a mechanic instantly, do you know what I mean? It's like there's a whole process and a way of making your mind work that is, you know, you have to train yourself to kind of do that, you know. I think what you'll get today for me is me trying to do some new things. There'll be some familiarity in there as well, because, you know, people want to identify what I'm doing with what they know me for, obviously. But, you know, I'm at a time at the moment where I'm trying to move my sound on as well and trying to do some new things and whatever, but trying to kind of bring what I've done and where I want to go together today with some kind of basics of how I work. Because, you know, a lot of the time I will use all the hardware in the studio, but I think it's quite important today for people to be able to relate to what I'm doing on screen, and you know, we'll do as much as we can in the box and build something from scratch.